Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Trellis and Trails Homestead. I'm Jacqueline. If you're new here, thanks for being here. If you're not new here, then you probably saw my basement canning pantry video that I just posted a couple videos ago. You guys loved that video so much. I appreciate all of your support and comments on that video. That was kind of just one that I threw together a little bit. I needed to reorganize my canning goods downstairs in my basement. And I brought you guys along and you guys loved it. So I figured I would bring you guys along for a little freezer organization, freezer tour for this video. I just got a new deep freezer. So we have actually the one that you guys are sitting on. I'll show you. We just got a deep freezer, our first deep freezer back in March. And we got a 7 cubic foot one. We were getting a bison, a quarter of a bison. So of course I needed somewhere to store that. I got that one. It fit the quarter of the bison just fine with a little extra space, but just not enough for what we've been storing. It would be great if I was just using it for the bison and maybe, I don't know, 1 or 2 additional types of meats. The problem is that I have 50 pounds of Roma tomatoes. I think I've used a few of them for some bruschetta that I canned, but I had those in the freezer. They're still in the freezer because I haven't had the energy to get to them for canning purposes yet. My plan is to can all of those up into a different variety of tomato products. I just have not gotten to it with preserving the rest of the garden harvest, peppers, things like that. I just made some hot pepper jelly. That's in my very last video if you want to go check that out. But I still have the tomatoes. In addition to that, I have probably another 20 pounds or so of just other garden produce. Zucchini, we did a couple different things with our zucchini. Chopped some up, we grated some, and made some into zucchini noodles. And just vacuum sealed and put those in the freezer, as well as rutabagas, turnips, beets, just roasted things and vacuum sealed as well. So I have all of those out here too. That stuff won't fit in my inside freezer. It probably will now, because I was able to move a couple of meat items out. So I will bring you guys along inside too. We'll do this one, this deep freezer tour first. And then I'll bring you guys along in my regular, just smaller kitchen freezer because I need to organize that too. It's a disaster in there. So I'll bring you guys along. If you're here for it, I'm here for it. So let's get into it. So this is the deep freezer that we had, the 7 cubic foot one. Ignore the box. That's just from the one that we got yesterday. But this is from Best Buy. I think it's their brand, the Insignia. And it worked great. I really did love it. As you can see, it's just not really that big. It's like a medium sized. So if you're not getting, you know, huge cuts of meat and big hauls of meat, then this would work for you just fine. So we had it thawing. There's a little water in here because we've had it defrosting. We'll have to get that out. But it was a pretty good size. But now we have this much larger one. This is a 10 cubic foot, same brand, also from Best Buy, the Insignia. And this one is currently plugged in and running and has all of our stuff in it. So I'm going to open this up, show you guys what's in it, and get to, I would say, organizing it. I kind of did the organization yesterday when I put everything in it, but I will still kind of go through and show you guys everything that is in here. I have these little garden gloves that I've never been in the garden. They're just little flimsy like Dollar Tree gloves. I use them as freezer gloves because I don't like for my hands to get cold. So if you're wondering what this is about, it's just to touch the meat. So if you guys didn't see, back in March or April, I posted a bison haul video. That was when we ordered our bison. We ordered it for the first time ever from a kind of local ranch to us, and I'm really pleased with it. So that was in March. We got that. We've been eating it, not every day or anything, but fairly often. I would say at least 1 or 2 times a week, if not more. And I can give you, I'll bring my MacBook out. I'll give you guys an inventory of what we started with and how much we have left over, just for comparison. So it's been 8 months or so. There's just 2 of us that's been eating the bison. We have shared some of it with friends if we've had outings or cookouts or things like that. But mainly just the 2 of us have been eating this bison. So that's pretty much mostly what I have in here. But I do have a few other cuts of meat, things like that. So let's go through it. I'm going to just take some of these things out first, and then as we put it back in, I will kind of go through everything that's here. All right, you can see the space that we have. There's already a little bit of ice starting to build up a little bit just in a day, but that's okay. I'm gonna leave, this is ground bison. I'm gonna leave these here. And I can't remember, I think there's 21 or 22 packages left. I'll let you guys know when I get my little inventory list, but I'm gonna leave that there for now. And then you can see we've got a lot going on down here. So we will get to putting these in and I'll show you exactly what's in everything. I'm gonna start with the big cuts first because I'm gonna put this bin back in there first. These bins are amazing. This is the freezer Sanity bins. I just got these off of Amazon back in a few months ago, I think it was. They're great. I have some other little bins I'll show you that are not as good a quality, but they're still really good for the freezer. So I can link both of these in the description below, just so you guys can see these if you want to order them from Amazon. But I highly recommend these bins just for organization of your freezer. It's so easy to keep everything sort of contained with these. That way you're not shuffling through a bunch of stuff to get to what you need. So I'm gonna just take everything out first and then I'll put it back in and tell you what we have. So we've got a brisket. This is a 5-pound brisket. We've got a really big 6-pound roast. Gorgeous. I don't know how we're gonna use this because we're not gonna eat a 6-pound roast, so we'll have to figure that out. We have a few chuck tenders. Here's one. I think here's another one. Yep, I think we just have 2 of those. Trying to strategically place everything back in here. We have a tri-tip. I'm excited to try this. I think we're probably going to end up getting a smoker because of these big cuts. We used to have one. We just need to get another one. We just haven't done it yet. So we've got a big pack of ribs here. These look stunning. I'm so excited about these. We'll definitely probably end up smoking these eventually. And then we've got some bison oxtail. This is 2 packs of oxtail. I think I'm going to make an oxtail soup with these. And then a pack of bones that I'm just going to make some bone broth with. So those are our, what I'm calling big cuts. The oxtail, not so much, but it just fit in this bin with everything else. So let me get these things out, and then I'll let you know what we have. I kind of got a little disappointed yesterday because as we were moving these bins around, organizing everything, we scratched the top of the freezer. So that's kind of unfortunate when you get something new and then it already gets scratched day one. So I'm still kind of moving them around on the freezer, but I want to be a little bit careful with that too. So yeah, I did a really big bison haul video many months ago. If you guys want to see everything that came in our bison order, it was a quarter of a bison. I know that people order quarters of cows and things like that all the time. Bison is probably a little more infrequently ordered, especially depending on where you live and the availability of it. But we were really pleased with this order. And I'll definitely be ordering again in the spring. I ordered with a bunch of people, 4 of us total, obviously, because it was a quarter each. So I think we'll be doing that again if we can find a couple more people to join in and getting this order again from the same people. We really enjoyed it. So, all right, we will start with these since they were packed in there pretty good. We have the 6-ounce top sirloin steaks. These are delicious. These are perfect for just like one single meal, one single portion for each of us. We've really enjoyed these. So we still have quite a few. The 6-ounce ones, there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so I think there's 10 of those left. Oh, 11, 12. That sounds right. 12 of those left. And then we've got our 4-ounce fillets. These are also just really small portions if you just need kind of a small cut of meat. These are delicious. Absolutely love these. So flavorful. There's 6 of these left. And then some bigger cuts of steak. We've got New York strip steak, 12 ounces. These are stunning. They're so good and juicy. We love these. So we still have quite a bit of these. There's 2. There might just be 4 left of those. And then we've got ribeye steaks. I don't even think we've actually had any of these yet. They're a little bigger. They're 14-ounce steaks. And they all are just beautiful as well. These are really just stunning cuts of meat. Unlike anything that you would probably find in a grocery store, you can tell it's really, really fresh. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these. So yeah, we haven't even had any of these yet. So we'll have to eat those soon. We've got diced stew meat, 4 packages of these. I don't think I've used any of these yet. I think it came with 4. Pinwheel skirt steak. We've had one of these for like a stir fry and it was delicious. 2 packs left. These are pretty big packs, over a pound each, so that'll go a long way. And then the burger patties, the pre-made patties. This is a set of 3. They're square-shaped patties. They're honestly not our favorite. We prefer making our own burger patties with just the ground meat that we have. These have worked, but they're honestly not our favorite. They're still delicious. It's just kind of hard to like keep them together when you're cooking them. Bison is very lean, so it seems like it just needs some sort of a binding agent. It doesn't stick together as well as you probably would want it to. But they're delicious. I don't know if you guys feel this way. Let me just tell you guys for a second. I have a problem with things that are shaped the way that I feel like they shouldn't be shaped. For instance, pizza that is square and not circular. Do you guys feel the same way about this? Like if it's not pie-shaped pizza, I don't want to eat it. So same with these burgers. They're square-shaped burgers. I don't understand why. Like buns are circle shaped, so I don't know why that bothers me so much, but it really does. So I just have beef with these, no pun intended, because they're square shaped and not circle shaped. We've got 4 left. I think we started with 18 or 20 packs at least. So we have actually eaten them. All that said, we're eating them. But I think we're just trying to get through them. So we much prefer to just make the patties with the ground beef instead, or the ground bison instead. Okay. I think I have everything packed back in there pretty well. So that is all of I think that's every bit of our bison meat that we have left. So in those big 2 freezer bins. Here's one of the other bins that I was telling you about. Also a freezer bin, and they are pretty sturdy. We actually do like these. They're more rectangular shaped than square shaped. They fit 2 of those larger ones, and 2 of these fit perfectly in our 7 cubic foot freezer. And these still fit really great, obviously, in our 10 cubic foot freezer, but there's just a lot more space around them, understandably so. So they don't fit in like puzzle pieces like they did in the 7 cubic foot one. It's totally fine. That's really not an issue. But I think everything that we have in here is our non-bison meat. That's all the bison meat that's left. Again, I'll go through my inventory list and let you know exactly what we started with and what we have now. But this is just various other meat items that we have. I did go to Costco yesterday. I did not get hardly any meat because we didn't have this freezer yet. We got it after the Costco trip, which was fine. I mean, I still could have purchased meat and put it in this freezer. I just didn't know if we were going to get this, if it was in stock or whatever yesterday. So what I did get from Costco was some beef roasts. You're probably like, well, you had those chuck tenders. Why did you buy beef roasts? We like to make enchiladas and certain things in the crock pot. If I'm making enchiladas or something that's like a shredded meat, I prefer to just use like these beef roasts. We got this large 2-pack of chuck roasts from Costco for like, I think it was like close to $50. And because there's only 2 of us, we like to cut each of those in half, and it made over 1 pound each. This one is 1.5 pounds of a beef roast. So that's a decent size for 2 people, especially if you're just making enchiladas or something. So we have 4 packs of these because we got the 2-pack and cut them individually. So those are all here. And yeah, I don't like to use my bison roast or that sort of meat unless I'm making an actual like pot roast, something that you're going to be eating more of like the meat and wanting the meat flavor. I feel like with the enchiladas, there's like sauce and cheese and other things, salsa. So it doesn't matter as much what it is necessarily. So I just like to go with sort of a not necessarily cheaper or less quality roast, but I just don't want to use my 2 bison roasts that I have for something like that. So we got those. We've got some sausage. Here, I'll just take everything out again because it kind of works easier that way. So in here, we've got 4 packs. It's actually like 3.5 packs of pork chops. I think some air got into a couple of these because it looks like they're a little bit freezer burnt, but they haven't been in my freezer for too long. So we'll just make sure we eat those first. These are fine though. So these also came from Costco at one point in time. We just vacuum seal everything into smaller portions. So there's like 2 large pork chops in each of these packs. And I've got 3 packs of the large ones in here. And then, like I said, I have the individual. This is just a single pork chop. That's just, I think, what was left. Actually, I think there was another pack. I already ate one. I made it for like a work meal. I've got some ground turkey. This was a 2-pack at Costco, and we've had one of those since I purchased it. I'm gonna actually put that on top. We've got several different sort of sausage options. We've got the kielbasa from Costco. I like to buy these and vacuum seal them as well. We've got brats, probably from Costco. Anything that's vacuum sealed probably came from Costco. I have a chorizo link. This is not my favorite. I had some bison chorizo that was absolutely delicious. We had 2 pounds of that. We've already used it. We took it with us camping and shared it with friends, and it was so, so good. It was like a Mexican spiced chorizo. Otherwise, I think I have one in my freezer inside. I like to buy from Safeway just like their chorizo that's in a package that looks like ground beef, like this turkey package. The links are not my favorite. They seem to be a little bit greasy, more so than like the packs of chorizo. So we usually buy that instead, but we just happen to have one of these. We really like this. If you guys haven't tried this yet and you're into chicken sausage, this is so good from Costco. It comes in a big pack, so a pack of 18. And these are the Parmesan and cracked black pepper chicken sausages. These are so, so good. So they are the Kirkland brand. If you have not had these, you should pick some up next time you go to Costco. They're absolutely delicious. We put them in all kinds of things, so good. We just got this one yesterday from Costco. This is the smoked jalapeno cheddar bratwurst made with bison and pork. I don't think we've had this one before. We've had some of their other like jalapeno sausages, but not this particular bratwurst. So excited to try this one. Looks so good. Here's another kielbasa. And then we've got some deer backstrap from a friend. We just haven't had that yet. And some ground beef as well from one of their cows. So also need to eat this. It's getting a little bit freezer burnt on the top, so we need to eat this soon. And then we got from Costco the Jimmy Dean Link sausages that come in like the really big pack. We also cut that up and either patty it out or just kind of keep it flat and vacuum seal it for like ground sausage. And we'll use this for breakfast things and stuff like that. You can always patty them when you take them out of here too. So that's usually what we do unless we're putting it in something that it needs to be ground up for. Okay, and then the turkey I went over with you guys. And the beef roasts. And then in here, I'm actually going to use some of these for dinner tonight. These are fresh garden carrots from my garden. I have a lot of these. This is like almost full gallon bag, and then a pretty full another gallon bag. So, and then this whole thing is filled with garden produce. I don't think there's anything else in here. This is all from the garden. But I'm going to take it out and show you what we have, because I'm pretty proud of it, honestly. I'm sure I'm probably making more scratches on our freezer, but I'm trying to be kind of careful. All the zucchini that you could ever ask for. Okay. So we have a ton of, this is gonna fall. So we have a ton of zucchini that we froze in different size portions, kind of based on recipes that I like to use. For zucchini bread, there's like a certain recipe that I think it calls for 1.5 cups. So we have some zucchini, this one is 1.5 cups, just in different 2 cups, individual for portion sizes, 3 cups. This is all shredded zucchini. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packages of those. I think I actually have more in my inside freezer too, so I might have to move some stuff out here. We'll see kind of what works. That's all shredded zucchini. Then we have some zucchini noodles, zoodles, if you're familiar with these. These are delicious. So we've got a few packs of these. And you might ask, because I feel like this actually is a good common question, how do we freeze zucchini and it not be super watery? My husband literally squeezes the crap out of, I think he puts them in gallon bags or something, the shredded, the zoodles, and just really squeezes all of the liquid out, and make sure that they're pretty relatively dry before we vacuum seal them. With that being said, you can't get all the moisture out, and you can see when we vacuum sealed it, it looks like some liquid kind of popped up above the seal. I think we sort of messed up our vacuum sealer a little bit. It still works, but it doesn't stop itself at the right time. So you have to manually stop it after it finishes sealing. It's not a huge deal. It still works, but I think we kind of ruined it by vacuum sealing zucchini, because I think that some of the moisture was getting into the machine and kind of just caused it to fail a little bit. So anyways, just so you know, if you're freezing zucchini, you really have to get like all of the water out if you're vacuum sealing it like this. Even if you're freezing it in a bag, it's kind of hard to do because there's so much moisture in zucchini. So just be aware of that. So we have a few packs of those, I think 3 or 4. Maybe some more in the freezer inside. I have some roasted beets from the garden. So all that zucchini is from the garden. I grew so much zucchini this year. Our beets were really good. They turned out gorgeous. So with our beets, turnips, and rutabagas, I just roasted these in the oven with a little bit of olive oil and some seasoning and stuff. So we roasted them, let them cool, and then vacuum sealed them. And these are super easy to vacuum seal. These weren't a problem at all. They look stunning, and they are so good. So I've got a few packs of these out here. I think some more of all of this stuff actually in the inside freezer, but there's 3 packs here. And 3 more, so 6 packs of beets. And then we've got a few packs of turnips. Same thing, just roasted with some olive oil in the oven and then vacuum sealed. We've already had a few of these items, so these didn't get labeled. I think those are rutabaga, or they might be turnips. One or the other. I think they're actually turnips. So got a few bags of those, 3 or 4 bags. And then we've got about 3 bags of rutabagas, also from the garden. Stunning. We love rutabagas so much, especially roasted. We have some corn. These are not from the garden. I wish they were. I'm not skilled enough to grow corn like this in the garden. These are from the store. We just separated and vacuum sealed them. Probably from Costco as well. I think they actually are. And then I have a few packs, just a couple packs of some hot peppers. So fun fact, if you grow too many peppers in your garden, you can freeze peppers and use them in anything. They freeze fine. You do not have to do anything with them first. You don't have to de-seed them. You don't have to even chop them up. I like them chopped up already. You don't have to do anything to them. Just wash them, make sure they're clean, dry them, vacuum seal them. They'll last in your freezer all year until the next garden season. So this is just a different variety of peppers, spicy peppers. Both of these are spicy peppers. And we just kind of chop them up into sort of a small portion to drop into like chili or any sort of like, I don't know, fajita, anything that you're making fajitas. Yeah, any sort of dish that you need spicy peppers for. And I could even just kind of break this in half and separate it and use it for 2 different meals. I would just pop these in the fridge and use them later in the week. But I'm so excited to have these. There's just something about homegrown peppers. It's just so good to have. So we have those as well. And then our carrots that I'm going to use some of later for a soup that I'm making. It's kind of cold here today. It's like in the 30s. Kind of the chilliest day we're going to have all week. So I wanted to make some soup tonight. Oh, and then the crazy amount of tomatoes that I have that I still need to get to. I don't even like looking at these. There's just so many of them. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the meats and everything back in the freezer first, and then we'll kind of put those along the sides of it. That worked out well yesterday. So let's get this stuff back in here. So again, in addition to, I told you that was all the bison, but of course we still have the ground bison too. And that just fits really well on this ledge here in this particular freezer, as well as the 7 cubic foot was the same way, and just fits really great there. It's pretty convenient to grab without having to move a bunch of stuff around. And make sure we still have room here because it kind of shifted back a little bit. Okay. And you can see these fit in here so well. I love when stuff fits like puzzle pieces. It just makes me so happy. So I have those pulled to the front, and then the space back here for additional things. I'll put some tomatoes and things back there. And those fit well. All right, you guys ready? I have my tomatoes weighed out already because I wanted to just have an idea when I was grabbing them for certain canning recipes how much was in each bag. So this one is 4 pounds, 7.4 ounces. They're all labeled. I'm not going to go through and show you how much each one weighs, but I'm just going to go ahead and start sticking them in here. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then a small bag as well. So I did already use some of my tomatoes for a bruschetta recipe. This is what's left that I need to deal with at some point. And then I'll also have some bags of all-purpose flour in small portions too. If you're not going to use a bulk amount of flour at one time, you can always freeze flour. It stays good in the freezer pretty much indefinitely. So. And then our little bin that goes on top that it came with. We've got a thermometer in here. Of course, it was like 0 degrees when we started. But now it says 30 because we've had it sitting out. So I've got some butter from Costco. I like to use this one for baking. I have a couple packs of these, but then we have some other butter in our freezer inside. So that's it for the freezer tour, for the deep freezer tour out here. I will take you guys inside and show you what's in my house freezer. But yeah, this is a good amount. And you can see with this 10 cubic foot, everything that's in here, this is probably, I don't know, at least 120 pounds worth of stuff, if not more. Actually, with the tomatoes, it's probably more like 150 pounds. I still have all this space, all this bin space. So yeah, we have more space for more things. This one, I want to keep it open while we're not using it until we're going to sell it. So until someone picks it up, we're just going to leave that one to the side. And then we've got our other one all closed up and ready to cool everything off again. I'm going to bring you guys inside now for my house freezer, for my kitchen freezer tour. Like I said, I need to organize this, so I'll bring you guys along for it. I've done this before in a pantry challenge video where we kind of organized everything. I'm not going to show you my pantry today just because there's not anything too exciting in there. And I might bring you guys along for that when I do like another pantry challenge video. It's a mess. Don't judge. We are going to get it organized right now. And then I'll see if there's anything that I want to move out to the outdoor freezer. So again, I'm going to take everything out and then sort of go through and get it reorganized. Ignore the flour, but here we are. We've got lots of stuff here all spread out on the counter, and we're gonna get it back in the freezer. I'll go through and show you all what we have. I had to go back and get my gloves because I just can't do it. I can't touch cold things. It's just not for me. So we'll start with maybe some of the more non-exciting stuff. I mean, butter's kind of exciting if you like butter. We like this grass-fed butter from Kirkland, from Costco, the Kirkland brand. So these come in a big pack. We've got several of these. It looks like 6 of them. I like to use this one more for like when you want the flavor of butter. When I'm baking, I like to use the other ones, but I'll still use this if I need it for baking too. So we've got those. And then we've got such random stuff here. Some old bananas, not old, but just very ripe bananas that we'll use for banana bread. We've got way too many. This is more than one loaf of banana bread, but sometimes we'll buy them and we won't eat them, so we have to store them in the freezer for the next loaf of banana bread. Not the worst thing to do, but we save everything basically. Like there's not a lot of stuff here that goes to waste. So the bananas are just one of those things. We've got some broth, and actually I think there's another thing of broth here. And I'm glad that we're doing this today because I have the soup that I want to make tonight. And if I didn't know that this was in the freezer, I don't know if I would have looked today. I would have just opened a jar of broth from downstairs in my basement. But I'd rather use this first. So I'm going to thaw this out, set this aside, thaw this out for the soup tonight. We've got, I love to use super cubes. If you don't know what super cubes are, they're amazing. So I have this one. It looks like an ice cube tray. It's like silicone, really nice. You put them in the freezer. You can actually bake in these as well. I've not baked in them before, but I use them for freezer storage all the time. So I will freeze things in this, and then you just pop them out of these little pucks here and stick them in a freezer bag, and they can stay in the freezer for however long. So for these, I have some extra bruschetta sauce for the bruschetta that I was making for canning. This was just some of the leftover like vinegar, whatever sauce that was in it. So I ended up freezing these, and they're super cubes and they're perfect. You can just toss these in like a pasta or really anything. So I'm really enjoying having these on hand this year. But usually in small portions like this one, I'll freeze leftover tomato sauce. So we have some of that. I don't think I need that for the soup tonight. It's not a tomato-based soup. So, oh yeah, here's some tomato sauce as well. This is not in the super cubes, but I had just put this in a bag and kind of flattened it out a little bit. So tomato sauce, bruschetta, butter. I freeze leftover half and half if I'm not using it all, and then I'll thaw this out for like pumpkin pies and other baking recipes. So I have these frozen in 1 cup portions. I think I just used a measuring cup and measured out a cup and then poured it in the bag and froze it. So a couple things of half and half that we do use on a regular basis. This one is also frozen into the little pucks. I think this is actually leftover Guinness. So whenever we don't use Guinness for like St. Patrick's Day, hey, had to pause because my cats are fighting. Whenever we don't use all of Guinness for like St. Patrick's Day recipes, I'll end up freezing it as well. And then you can put these in stews and things, beef roast, pot roast. It's absolutely delicious. It adds a delicious flavor to just add 1 or 2 of these little cubes. So I have these on hand too for that reason. We've got some kale stems. 3 Rivers Homestead does this. She'll save her kale stems and just put them in like stir fries and things for a little extra crunch, similar to like a green bean or whatever. So I have some of these saved. I have some cayennes from my garden a couple years ago. These have been in here for a long time. I need to figure out what to do with these. But for now, we're just gonna keep them in the freezer. Most of the rest of the veggies are from this garden season. So this is just a random, it says random on here, a random assortment of peppers that we froze. These aren't spicy. I think these are more sweet peppers in a very small portion to just throw into a dish. Green bell peppers. This is a little much for 1 dish, but we can just thaw it out and use it again or whatever. Just break it up and refreeze it. Green bell pepper here. Also, these are big gem peppers. So we have a small portion of those. Some frozen kale. I do need kale for my soup tonight, but I have fresh kale in the fridge. So I'm going to use that first, but we will remember this for the next time we make soup and don't have fresh kale on hand. I have some frozen tomatillos. This is just the last of what I had from the garden that I didn't end up canning into salsa verde or chipotle tomatillo sauce or anything. So I figured I could probably just toss these into like some stews or like some green chili soups and things like that. So we're gonna keep these in the freezer. 2 more packs of shredded zucchini, what do you know? So another pack of beets. And then 2 more packs of rutabagas. So I have this mushroom risotto from Trader Joe's. I think it's an asparagus risotto. I really like that one, but the mushroom one is good too. So we have a pack of this. I've just got some veggie fried rice left over from Trader Joe's as well for, you know, little stir fries and things. And some frozen broccoli here, just a little bit of that. I've also got some sliced frozen zucchini. This is from last year. I need to get to using this soon. I've got some frozen lentils that are already pre-cooked. We just didn't use them all for what I was making for meal prep, so I saved some. I have too many berries, it looks like. Just a small pack left over of mixed berries for smoothies and things. A pack of wild blueberries. And then these I foraged out in the wild when we were camping. I picked some Oregon berries. There's another name for it. I forget what it's called. I'll post it here on the screen. But I do know that they're also called Oregon berries. And I'm going to put these in like muffins. I might try to turn it into a little jam. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. I didn't weigh this to see how much it is. But it's a good sized bag full. So some pierogies from Costco. These are delicious. So I think I have 3 packs of those right now. I've got some leftover chicken sausage. This is the same one I showed you from the big freezer. We just didn't use the whole pack. I'm gonna keep this out because I'm gonna use probably 1 or 2 of these for my soup tonight. So I am making, it's like a cozy autumn wild rice soup. It's on Pinterest, but I'm gonna add chicken sausage to it. It didn't have a meat like included in the recipe. I think it said you could add like shredded chicken would be good and other things. But I'm going to do the chicken sausage because I don't have regular chicken. So you might be asking after seeing all of this, and I still have a few things to show you from this freezer, but why don't we have any chicken? I'm so weird about chicken. I don't trust most of the chicken at the grocery store. That's why we don't have any right now. I wanted to get the big freezer to the bigger freezer so that I could find some farm raised chicken around me, local. And so I think I'm going to look into that and probably pick up some chicken from somewhere close by that I maybe trust a little bit more than grocery store chicken. So that's why we don't have any right now, if you're wondering what the chicken is about. But anyways, back to the soup. I'm going to put the chicken sausage in it, the broth, the kale, some potato. It does have coconut milk in it. I have some of that downstairs in my canning pantry, so I'm going to grab that. Garlic, spices, carrots from the freezer. So just kind of like a wild rice, cozy autumn soup. So we're going to make that tonight for dinner. In my super cubes right now, I'm going to keep these out and thaw them to pop this stuff out. I have some homemade pumpkin puree that we just roasted the pumpkin and pureed it up, and then I stuck it in here. I have these small cubes because my kitten really likes pumpkin puree, so I saved some for him. But then otherwise I have them frozen in the 2-cup portion, just a little under the 2 cups. To put in pumpkin pies and desserts and things like that, or even soups and stuff. So I'm gonna leave those out to thaw. We also have apple cider that I froze in the 2-cup super cube portions. I didn't use this all. I think I used some of it for a canning recipe, but I didn't use it all. But you can see how they turn out to be perfect 2-cup rectangle size. We'll just thaw these out as needed for apple cider. More sausage things. We've got the spicy mango with jalapeno sausages. These came from Target and they were on sale, so I figured we would give these a try. I haven't tried this spicy mango one before. And then here's the chorizo. I was talking about, you can't really see it because it's frozen. We like this one quite a lot from Safeway. So this is usually what we buy if we want chorizo. I like to make chorizo tacos often, so we have that. Oh, here is already some pumpkin puree. This is from a can, so I froze these as well. So we'll have lots of pumpkin to use this winter. These also from the super cubes. I just made some chili mac the other day and froze the rest of it. So we've got some chili mac. These are so easy to just grab and thaw for like a work meal and take to work for the night or whatever. So I like to have things like this that are just easy to grab on hand. Soups, I like to freeze in the super cubes, and things like chili mac and stuff that's just easy to eat at work with like a fork or a spoon. This needs to be eaten. I might actually keep these out tonight. Kind of random to go with the soup, but this is Thanksgiving dressing from last year, and we're already a week from Thanksgiving this year, so we need to eat these before I make more Thanksgiving dressing. I just cut these and freeze them, and they're so good to just thaw and heat up. You would never have known that it was ever frozen, so I might just keep these out as well. The pumpkin, I have one lonely little hamburger bun in here. This is one that I made, a homemade sourdough hamburger bun. I need to find a different recipe for that. These are really just hefty buns, so I want to find something that's a little bit lighter and fluffier for a hamburger bun option. I have some sandwich thins that I made. These are not sourdough, but just regular yeast, and these are really good. We don't eat sandwiches all that much, so I keep them in the freezer for just having on hand when we need them. We have a pack of bacon. Here is the chopped up zucchini that I need to use. This is not the most ideal way to freeze it, as you can see. I'll probably just toss it in a soup or something. I probably could even put it in the soup tonight, but I don't know if I'm going to. It'll be easy to just throw into a dish or crock pot recipe. And then I've got several pie shells. I think there's 3 of these here. So I use these often. I have been making a lot of pies lately. Just really quick, easy pies for dessert after dinner. Especially pumpkin pie, that's our favorite. I made a pecan pie and it was good, but the pumpkin is our favorite. So I'll be using these for pumpkin pies in the next few weeks. And then this was just a little purchase last night. We wanted something quick and easy for dinner. Got a frozen pizza. One of our favorite pizza shops here locally to us shut down, so I'm really sad about that. So because I couldn't order pizza, we went and got just 2 frozen pizzas. This is the one we didn't eat, so we're just gonna stick it back in the fridge for a convenience option later. You can see I don't have tons of like convenience food. Oh, I didn't show you the chicken from Costco. We like to buy the Just Bare brand. So yeah, this is like the only chicken thing I have right now. But I will buy these. They didn't have the patties this time. They had the spicy strips. So I got some of those. I'm probably going to heat some up for lunch right now. And yeah, these are just really easy to throw into the oven and have for a quick meal. So that's all of our indoor freezer tour. I'm going to put this stuff back into the freezer and then keep out a couple of things for dinner for tonight. And I'll show you the final organization of it all. To show you guys, I have some top sliced Hawaiian rolls for like brats and things too. Here's our pumpkin puree. I'm just gonna take out of here and put into a bag. So these are perfect just to thaw out for like the week for the cat. And I only give him just like a little, I don't know, a couple teaspoons at a time. So this will last him a few days. And then if I wanted a smaller portion of something, I could always use these instead of the bigger ones as well for a recipe too. We've got our bag of homemade pumpkin puree. And then these are really easy to just pop in the dishwasher. They're dishwasher safe, or just rinse them out, wash them out really good. So I'll probably throw these in the dishwasher later. We've got our big one. These are easiest to pop out if you do let them thaw for a few minutes first. When you just take them out of the freezer, they're really hard to get out. So they pop out easier if you just give them a few minutes. I'm excited to have homemade pumpkin puree and not just from the can, but you can see these are the perfect, they're really cold. But as you can see, these are the perfect little 2-cup rectangle portions. So cold. Alright, so now we've got 4 2-cup portions for the freezer and our little tiny pucks of pumpkin puree. The cat's trying to get in the freezer. He's checking things out. I just tossed that pumpkin in here, but I've got some half and half, the butter, some pumpkin puree, some of the little super cubed sauces, tomato sauce, things like that. Our peppers down here, the cayennes and the garden peppers. down here I have everything veggie related, the rutabagas, the zucchini, broccoli, the stir-fry rice, and then we've got, I do have the mushroom risotto sitting up here, but the chorizo, pierogies, the berries, the chicken sausage, bacon, the lentils. I just didn't really have anywhere to fit that. Other super cute things, the chili mac, the apple cider, and then these are pumpkin things that I just took out. The pizza is here, the pumpkin, or the pie shells, the bananas, and then just the bread products that I had. And then I do need to fit the just bare chicken. I'm about to make some, so I haven't put it in there yet. But usually this fits here just fine. I just kind of have to stuff it under the light a little bit, but I will put that in there when we're all done with it. And yeah, we have our freezer all organized. This looks so much better. I know what's in here now, so I'm excited about this. And then yeah, I just kept out the chicken sausage, the Thanksgiving dressing, and the broth because I'm gonna use all of these things tonight for our soup, and that's that. So I have my computer here for my inventory. I told you guys for the brisket, the ribs, and the chuck roast, we haven't used any of those super big cuts. I only had one each of those. So we still have those. We still have the 2 chuck tenders. We have the tri-tip. So those are all the big cuts. And then we had 2 packages of short ribs. Sorry, 1 package of short ribs. We already used that. We have the 4 packages of stew meat still. Tips and tails. This was sort of like kind of like a stew meat. It was like diced meat. I used it in like fajitas or something. We had 1 pack of that and we've used it. We have the 2 packages of the oxtail. The chorizo, I told you we ate those 2 packages. And the skirt steak and pinwheel, we have the 2 packages left. We started with 3. So the fillets, the 4-ounce fillets, we had 9 of those and we have 6 left. The New York strip, we had 8 and we have 4 left. And then the ribeye, we had 8 to start with and we still have 8. So those are the ones we haven't tried yet. The top sirloin steaks, the 6-ounce ones, we started with 20. I forget, I'll have to put it on the screen. I forget how many I said we have left. I think there's 12 or so. The burgers, we started with 18 and we have 3 packs left. And the ground meat, we started with 45 and we have 21 of those left. They're all just 1 pound packages, so it's pretty perfect. And then the soup bones, we still have the package of those. So I would say that's pretty good for 8 months. We've eaten through a decent amount of it, but we still have quite a bit left. So the rest of this should definitely last us through the spring when we probably will make another order. Spring or summer is what I'm estimating. So we'll get through the rest of this at some point. But again, if you guys, I'll link my bison haul video from back when I filmed that. If you guys haven't seen that video, you should definitely go check it out. And that'll give you like the full disclosure of everything that I got in this order. So, and yeah, I think I'll do this again and we'll see how much we get through in the next few months. So thank you guys so much for coming along for today's freezer organization, freezer tour video. Like I said, you guys really loved the basement reorganization one, the canning pantry. So I hope you love this one too. Please comment and let me know. Let me know what you think of the deep freezer organization. If you have any really cool tips and tricks on how to organize a deep freezer. I think it's pretty well organized. Once I ordered those bins, that really was a game changer. So I do highly suggest getting yourself some bins if you don't have those already. It'll make your life so much easier with deep freezer organization. So like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.